Rooms of exhibits to your left, and then one large room of 9 exhibits to your right, including a working lab. Because people on occasion will send us hair samples to identify. I know, I get really excited. The faces on the wall are researchers from all over the world, and if you're familiar with Bigfoot research, you're probably going to recognize a lot of these people. Because these are people who have made lifetime commitments, some of them 40, 50 years, who have been researching this, and they've made a significant contribution to Bigfoot research. Some of them have donated artifacts to the museum, like Dr. Meldrum. You're going to see like the largest footprint cast collection that's available for the public to see in North America is just on the other side of this wall, and they came out of Dr. Meldrum's lab. This little video up front is there to welcome you. It's about 2 minutes long, and if you stand where that white line is, you're under that speaker dome, so you're going to be able to hear better. And then where those flickering lanterns are, on the other side of that wall is our movie theater. And we have 2 movies for you today. One's just a little short 2-minute independent film called Sasquatch and the Girl, and then the second one is 17 minutes long, and it's called The Wild Man of Kentucky. And I love it because it has a lot of history and it's just rich with First Nations information. You know, these First Nations people all around the world have been, you know, seeing these creatures for forever. So they have a lot of information to share with us, and some of them are actually, you know, starting to share. Like the Cherokee people will actually talk to us about, you know, some of the others won't. Anyway, when you go around the corner into the second room, the restrooms are going to be on your right-hand side, and the entrance to the theater is also right there. This is again the artifact room, so you're going to see the footprint cast here. There's also some like massive handprint casts as well. There's a large map of Florida and Georgia in that room too. So you'll see pins where the active areas are, and we constantly have to update those maps. You guys would just be shocked at how many witnesses walk through this door, not just from Georgia, but Florida, and really kind of from all over. When you get to the last room, you're going to see multiple stations where there's banks of headphones. If you haven't had the chance to hear some of the incredible audio that's been captured, the Sierra sounds are going to be in the right-hand corner. And in your left-hand corner, there's over 20 minutes worth of house just from different locations around the United States. And there's a beautiful model back there that's life-size. You know, I could stand here all day long and say that the average Sasquatch is, you know, 8 feet tall, but when you see a physical representation and the body mass of these things, you know, It's amazing. You'll kind of understand why some of these hunters never go back in the woods.
Oh, yeah. but they had always been afraid of his kind. One night, a girl from a nearby village ventured near his fire in the forest. She was enchanted by the shadows dancing on the cliff wall. The little girl enjoyed the stories so much that she returned to sit by the fire each night after everyone had gone to sleep. For a few hours, the Sasquatch was happy. One night, the girl did not arrive. The Sasquatch set off to the village to see what was wrong. As he drew near, he heard the girl crying. Her father had scolded her for leaving the village at night. The girl saw the Sasquatch at the edge of the trees and ran to him. Just as he gathered her up, her father and the other villagers woke to see the Sasquatch holding the girl. The Sasquatch was afraid and ran with the girl into the forest. The villagers set off after them. The Sasquatch ran well ahead of the villagers. It began to rain. Though his arms embraced the girl, branches scraped her fragile skin, and ice-cold rain soaked her. The thunder frightened her to tears. The Sasquatch continued to run, afraid of what might happen to him if he was caught. They were both far ahead of the hunters now, and he knew he was safe. But when he looked at the girl, he saw that she was not safe. He saw the scratches on her skin. She shivered from the fear and cold. The girl did not belong in the woods. She belonged in the village. The Sasquatch knew he would have to bring her back. He turned to walk back to the villagers. The hunting party surrounded the beast, but the father called them back. The father drew near and saw Sasquatch's face. He knew that the beast did not mean to harm his daughter. The father asked the rest to lower their weapons and to return home. The father told him he could never see the girl again. He would have to hide from the humans so that no other children would follow him into the woods. The Sasquatch knew this must be so. That is why the Sasquatch must hide from humans today and never again share their wonderful shadow story.
Hundreds of photographs exist, but the creature has not yet been identified. Still, the clues accumulate year after year. In the words of one Bigfoot investigator, it is an extremely complex phenomenon with no starting point and no geographical limits. If this creature does exist, then it is most certainly a relative of man. Descriptions of the ape-like creature do not vary dramatically with credible sightings. The creature is anywhere from 6 to 10 feet tall, 300 to 1,000 pounds, and walks upright on two legs. Hair covers almost all of its body and ranges in color from black to silvery white, with the predominant color being brown or reddish brown. The creature is often reported to have a flat face and nose, a receding, sloped forehead with a prominent brow ridge, and a cone-shaped head, which sits on broad shoulders with no apparent neck. Its proportions are roughly those of a human being, except for its long, dangling arms. Bigfoot draws its name from the enormous footprints it leaves behind, many as long as 2 feet by 8 inches wide. The length of stride varies, but the distance is usually close to 4 feet between prints. There have been group sightings, 2 adults and 1 or more juveniles. The creature appears to be largely nocturnal. Species unknown at this time. When gorillas were first seen by white men early in the last century, the reaction to this discovery was one of shock and astonishment. Native stories of such creatures were well known, but were viewed as mere folklore and mythology by the scientific community. Prior to this paleontological milestone, man had the idea that he had more or less discovered everything there was to discover about ourselves. Palm and fingers of the hand, or the sole and toes of the foot. They consist of 1 or more connected ridge units of friction-ridged skin. These ridges are also known as dermal ridges. The 3 basic patterns of dermal ridges are the arc, loop, and whorl. Many Bigfoot castings clearly show dermal ridges, not unlike those found in human beings. If the Bigfoot phenomenon is a prank or a hoax, it is one of the greatest hoaxes of all time. The best prints on record were found in very, very remote places. To leave these prints and artificially create dermal ridges would be extremely difficult, to say the least. And let us not take lightly that Gigantopithecus was indeed a very real creature. Gigantopithecus is an extinct genus of ape that existed from roughly 1 million years to as recently as 300,000 years ago in what is now China, India, and Vietnam, placing Gigantopithecus in the same time frame and geographical location as several hominid species. The fossil record suggests that Gigantopithecus were the largest apes that ever lived, standing up to 10 feet and weighing up to 1,200 pounds, making the species 2 to 3 times heavier than modern gorillas and nearly 5 times heavier than the orangutan, its closest living relative. Evidence of a separate species, Gigantopithecus gigantus, has been found in northern India and China. Another genus, Gigantopithecus blacki, fossils of teeth and mandibles have been found in cave sites in Southeast Asia. Recent research using high-precision dating methods has shown that after existing for approximately 1 million years, Gigantopithecus blacki died out nearly 100,000 years ago. This means that it coexisted with modern humans, Homo sapiens, for thousands of years, and with the most immediate ancestors of Homo sapiens before that. Many cryptozoologists believe that Gigantopithecines are the legendary primates known in various geographic locations as the Bigfoot, the Yowie, the Yeren, the Yeti. But these claims are not considered credible by the scientific community.